Hey everyone, welcome to Artists in the City, where you meet me. um, yeah, I'm a little awkward right now because I am doing my first ever solo episode for the Artists in the City. I decided to do a solo episode because, um, well, I got some updates in my life. So, hey, what's up? I'm the newest and hottest artist in New York City. I guess first of all, I gotta tell you that I am no longer in New York City. Wow, that's a huge sentence. Um, I don't know if I want to say I'm no longer in New York City. That feels like I'm like super disconnected to New York. But right now I'm in Korea. I'm in my hometown, the city called Busan in South Korea. It's a beautiful, beautiful beach town. Also, the second biggest city in Korea. So I'm actually live in my little brother's room in my parents' house. I don't have my own room because they thought that I'll be gone forever. But like, hey, life happens, so I'm here. Um, the reasons why I moved back to here to my hometown, a number of things. First off, money. It's so hard to afford rent in New York City. It's like the worst thing in New York. And I was I I do have a job, but like it's a part-time gig at a nonprofit and it's barely make any profit for my life. After paying my rent and it's just like basically over. And I was able to sustain my life, living off of savings, got a lot of credit card debt. And at some point, my credit card got blocked. It was rough. So, there's one thing, financial stuff. And then I also don't have a visa. I don't have a medical insurance. I was not having the best. Oh my God, I don't want this pod to be depressing, okay? But life stuff. Like life stuff. Money, visa, medical insurance. And I just needed a little time off to just realign my life. So that was one reason, like big reason. And then the second reason was that I wanted to come back to Busan because of comedy, actually. I fucking comedy. Fine. Yeah, like honestly, I'm a very passionate person and I'm also a very much like a goal-driven person. I wouldn't have given up living in New York only for those realistic life reasons. But I wanted to come back to Korea because I wanted to participate in this international comedy festival that's happening in my hometown. It's called Busan International Comedy Festival. So I just have to like turn the story back to like last year. It was last year, 2023, October. I was back in Korea for similar reasons. I was jobless and I came back home to Busan, right? And I wanted to do comedy. I don't know why I like comedy so much, but like if you don't go up on stage, I just get little, like itches. Like I gotta go up on stage, like in either way, like music, comedy, or dance, or whatever ways, I wanted to go up. But like in my hometown, there aren't many opportunities to do so. So I used to go back and forth between Seoul and Busan. That's like 3 hours train ride. And I figured that's not sustainable, so I decided to start an open mic, a Korean language open mic, and it was semi-successful. And I also met some other people. No, it's just one person. Shout out to Yunsu, Oppa, Ryan. I met Ryan there, and we've been doing open mics in Busan, and we started this like little like IG account called Busan Comedy Club. It sounds like it's a club, but it's not really. It's not a physical club. We're just like a, like cute comedy crew. And then we've been running open mics, and at some point I just wanted to, I got an opportunity to come back to New York. So I came back to New York this year in April. Sorry, I'm like jumping off time here and there. I go back and forth between Korea and New York a lot. So you just gotta follow me. So last year, 2023, October, I started a comedy club. This year, 2024, April, came back to New York, deciding, letting my other comic friends to run the show, but I will still be helping remotely. So, so I was back in New York doing my shit, like started this pod and all that. And then meanwhile, my comic friends were doing shows in Busan. And it is just a coincidence that there is an international comedy festival in that very hometown, my city, Busan. I don't know why they started that in here. I think it's just really random. Well, Busan is really kind of popular for a bunch of festivals, actually. I don't know if you guys have heard of this film festival. It's called BIFF, Busan International Film Festival. It happens every October. It's kind of a big deal. And I don't know if it's like connected or not, but like somehow there is an international festival. And because we're like the like one and only local comedy scene, we were connected to this festival. So we got this opportunity to do a showcase, stand-up comedy showcase through this festival. And I mean, that sounds dope. So that was one of the main reasons why I came back to Korea. It like multiplied with a bunch of life stuff. My lease ended, so that was easy. Yeah, I think it was just like meant to be. Like it was not really hard to coordinate all that. It just felt right to come back. So I came back here early August, and it's been very busy. I realized that it has only been like 3 weeks since I got back here. It's not really a long time, but 3 weeks? But it felt like it was such a long time, like as long as 3 months or so. I was just pretty much I went straight into comedy the moment I arrived in Korea. I think it was a Saturday in the morning. I arrived in Seoul Incheon International Airport, and then I came back to Busan, and then maybe took a little bit of nap and went to the show straight away. And I checked out my club, and I realized that my club has grown so much. The comics have become really funnier, and we are getting a lot of audience, which is insane. And then we got a really nice connection with a really nice venue. Like, this is like pretty much like the polar opposite of what I would be getting, what the treatment that I was getting as a comic in New York City. Because like my life as a comic in New York has been just like, like miserable. I don't want to say it was miserable, but like how it is, like not getting paid. There are so many great comics. Like, even though there's like really good lineup, there aren't any shows because there aren't audience, blah 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 blah. But here it was just different. Like, we get audience all the time, and every time it's just like a show that actually matters. So for that past 3 months, I've been just like really focusing on honing my Korean set. I mentioned this many times in my pod about like how Korean comedy and English comedy is so different. But like, I think another layer to that is that I really grew as a comic in New York, that when I came back to Korea, all the Korean sets that I written were all terrible. So I had to just rewrite everything. Every single night I tried different sets. Because I knew that there was like one important show on 24th of August. Guys, I'm so sorry if I'm just like not very much like a better storyteller right now, because I am tired. It's like 2 in the morning right now. So basically I've been just like trying and honing my Korean comedy set for the past couple weeks for this one big event called Busan International Comedy Festival. And honestly, it was kind of insane. It was insane. First of all, on Friday, there was a huge opening event, and I decided to like just pull out New York for that event. You know how like New Yorkers are so unapologetic and just not afraid to like shine or don't care about other people's opinion? And I just always wanted to embrace that wherever I go, including this opening event that I went to. These festival people were kind of like mean in a way, because they said that like maybe I could go up on like, I as in like our entire comedy crew could go up on like the red carpet, which is like, exciting. I love attention. I'm like, I live for that, so I thought that I was gonna go up there, but at the end I didn't. But I still dressed up as like someone that I would go up there, if you know what I mean. So I did. And it was very humbling, like, I think the big learning from that opening event was that I am no one. And like someone enough to be invited to that opening event, but like no one enough not to be up on that red carpet. And I was not bitten down about that at all. It felt like I was exactly at where I'm supposed to be. It was a great feeling, It's like being happy with where I'm at. So I was just like up there watching like celebrities go back and forth, and I also got to enjoy like other people's comedic performances. And my friends, my comic friends, who is also a part of my comedy crew, they're just like such a nice people, and like they I don't know how to express how much I love them. They are such a like cool people, and I was very happy to be sharing that moment with them. At some point, like how like, okay, so Korean comedy scene is very different from New York / American comedy scene. Stand-up comedy is very, very much like a small fraction of the comedy scene. Sketch comedies are way bigger, way, way bigger. Characters are so much bigger. A lot of them are YouTubers. And only a small fraction of us are stand-up comics. And the stand-up comics that are popular are only a handful of them. To name a few, that would be Danny Cho, Kim Dong-ha. I don't know if you guys know him. Kim Dong-ha is basically the Matt Rife of Korea. He's like really popular for crowd work and very charming, actually. So they were out there, and I was watching them in my sparkly dress with my comic friends. And we watched this like performance. Like there were musical performances and some sort of like a physical comedy, I must say, like a non-verbal physical comedies from different countries, because it's an international comedy festival. And there was this like one guy who is a Buddhist monk. He's a Buddhist monk, and he had an EDM set. He has an EDM set as a Buddhist monk. It was fucking insane. It was insane. Like, and it was just like a really, really good EDM music, and also hilarious. It was like, how would I say, like, so like he has these lines that's like inspired by Buddhism, such things like "don't be greedy," and he would repeat "don't" like number of times, like don't be greedy. But the thing is, 돈 in Korean means money. So for me, that irony in the whole song was just mind-blowing and very funny. There were many, many other lines that were so funny, and it's just it made me feel like I wanted to be like him. Like, I loved the fact that it was not only comical, but also very much like a performance type, very innovative set. I was very super impressed. And you know how all these like cameras like go to like audience seats to check out like who's like having the most fun? And of course, your girl was on camera. She was dancing the shit out. I guess it was a highlight. So that happened. And the day after that opening event, my club ran our show. And just to give you the conclusion, it was a crazy great show. A crazy great set of mine. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like kind of learning like how the like imposter syndrome that I have in my like fucking brain, because of that set, I was just like not able to sleep like at all. Like I was just thinking about like, oh my God, I don't think I deserve this. Or like, oh my God, I'm just gonna like, I'm not even funny. Why am I like getting these opportunities? Like, why am I here basically? Which is somewhat weird to say because I own a fucking comedy club. It's such a woman thing, you know? It's like, I own a club. I own a comedy club, but I still cannot justify the fact that I'm here at its comedy festival. It's like, what the fuck, Minji? You can be there. You deserve to be there. You worked hard, whether you're in Korea or in New York. But it was just hard. Like, I was just afraid of, I was just, I just could not really think that I'm funny. I still think that I'm not funny. It's just like, I hate feeling this way. Fucking, like, if anyone is thinking about stand-up comedy, just don't. Like, don't. Like, not gonna lie, I never wanted to be funny. Like, in my life, until, like, a year ago, even after I started stand-up, I didn't want to be funny. I just never had the desire to be funny, if this makes sense. Like, I always had friends. I have always been like, I had friends. Like, I was totally socially fine. I didn't have to be making people laugh all the time. Like, it was not a source of stress for me. Like, no, I was just existing and being happy and eating food, like, but like, because I'm in this like stupid comedy shithole, I think how inferior I am all the time. And this sucks. Honestly, I can cry right now because I've been stressed. I was stressed about this. Like, like this freaking event at this festival was a big deal. Like, I was just thinking that it was not a big deal, but honestly, it was a big deal. Like, it was our like debut like stage for this festival. Not only that, some of these leading comics, like the most famous, the most like expensive, like the most well-known comics in Korea came to watch us. Like, insane. Why? Like, it's just, so it's been a lot of pressure. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it was a lot of pressure. And honestly, like right before I go up on the stage, like as someone as a producer of the show, I do have to be like responsible for many other things, not just my set. Like getting the posters out, checking in people, like work shit, like who's taking the photos, who's taking the videos, like stuff like that. So I wanted to focus on that, but I couldn't because I was like nervous. And then these like famous comics would like, come in. Like one of the most famous comic, like he's like such a like old figure, like I would say like I grew up watching this guy. Like let's say he's Adam Sandler, right? Like he's not, but like somewhat equivalent. And he was supposed to like come to our show like only for like 10 minutes, shake hands, take pictures, and leave. That was the plan, right? And somehow he changed his mind and he'd be like, you know what? I'm going to stay for the entire show. And then he has this like really beautiful girlfriend who is also a comic who I have also grew up watching, who I actually really like. She's like funny. So like she came together with him, like with some other people. And then like one of his friends like came to me and shake hands and be like, oh my god, hi Minji, I'm like watching your thing and you're great. And I'm like, fuck you. Like, why are you watching me? Why do you recognize me? And that put me into a panic. Like, I panicked. Like, this person knows me, and at this point, I gotta be like, you know, just live up to that pressure or like expectation. And that really messed up with my head. So I was like trying not to cry, but I couldn't be at the venue. I'm like, I'm gonna leave. I'm going to leave this venue. I cannot be here. So I had to like take a walk around the venue. I had to call my bestie, and she really assured me and talked about like how much I deserved that chance. And I killed it. I killed it. I went up, like got my shit together. I went up. It was just great. Like the entire audience was just like, what the fuck? Like I was the host of the show actually. So like every single line that I say, they laughed. That never happened. Like, but it happened. So they were laughing, and I'm like, all right, let's bring up the first comic. He did great. The second comic, the third comic, they didn't do great, but like they did not bomb. And I went up, and it was great. I think it was not. I still don't think it's real. I'm gonna go. I haven't really seen the recording just yet because I don't want to know what actually happened. But in my head, it was great. Like, it was awesome. And like the comics afterwards, they were like way funnier comics than I am. Very, very talented. And they bodied that shit. So, successful show. Successful debut show for the successful comedy festival. I guess that's what I wanted to tell you guys, like through this pod. Like, it was a successful, great show. And I still cannot embrace my success. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to be like, ugh, like I suck. But the more I get like, the more I become a little more serious about comedy, the more unsatisfactory I am about things I do. I don't want to feel this way. I don't. Because that's really not my character. Like, I am doing my things, my artistic expressions, because I want to be happy, you know? Like, I want to be expressing myself whenever I want to, however platform / genre that I want. And that's what got me here. But some part of me is like, no, Minji, you gotta take this seriously, because at the end, I don't want to work. I just want to be doing this shit only. But that means this shit gotta be my work. And works are bound to be stressful. I guess this is just like my very, very painful, transformative process to become a working artist. It's so hard. You know how like when you, like I don't have a kid, but when you were like kids, no, like when assuming I become a parent and then like when I have a child, like super tiny cute babies are cute because they're super cute and tiny, you know? Like tiny babies are tiny and but every single day they become less tiny. And you gotta be enjoying the time that they are tiny because later on they're gonna grow up and be more and more disgusting. I think that's how I feel about like my own career. Like it was just nice to be just exploring and doing what I like to do for fun. But I'm learning that at this point of my artistic career, I am no longer doing this just for fun. It's great. Honestly, it's a step in the right direction. But I don't want to be stressed. I'm just a stressed person. I'm stressed all the time. I am anxious all the time. Like, I don't want to be this person. I guess that's what I've been wanting to tell you. Like, the fact that like the past 3 weeks have been feeling like just 3 months is because I have been super anxious and stressful about this stupid comedy festival. And I wanted to be good at it. And you know what? I was good. Mic drop. I was good. And I wanted to share that with you. Like, I know I've been just like, it's just like really hard to manage both English and Korean audience, I think. That's one thing that I've been learning. Like, what is this journey to become? Oh, journey. Ugh. Lame word. What is this like? It's just a process, you know, like to be a working artist, like an artist that gets paid for what they do. And I want to be that person, right? That's my goal. Like, I don't want to work. I wish this is my full time. And to do that, I think I gotta be like more strategic about my branding and my audience. And I think that's something that I'm struggling with right now because I have both Korean and English speaking audience, or it's global and Korean audience. So I've been kind of like MIA online as much because I've been focusing on Korean platform. And I think this feels right. This totally feels right. And I don't want to be like, you know, cocky or arrogant, but I do believe that I have a little bigger perspective. Like, I think I have a stronger perspective in the Korean society only because Korea is fucking tiny. It's so tiny, and I have, you know, a little bit of like hint of weirdness / sexiness, or like just some sort of character that Korean people have never seen. So I've been just like focusing on like Korean content, Korean stuff, Korean comedy, Korean speaking comedy, you know? So I do notice that I am losing some followers on Instagram. And not gonna lie, I'm okay with that. I'm like, fine. People who gotta leave, you know? Like, I'm going through some sort of like, branding, like, chaos, branding paradox. I gave up on my Instagram handle, Text and the City. That has been my biggest personality in a way. But like, I changed that. Yeah, it's just like a really hard name to pronounce. Everyone thinks that it's Text in the City. What the fuck? Or like, I don't want to go out there and say, hey, my name is Text and the City. It's just like weird. I'd rather be like, hey, my name is Minji. I'd be rather known as Minji. So maybe handle has to be changed like that. And I'm like, just a whole bunch of shit, Like, but again, like I want to be less stressed. I want to be less anxious. So what I want to do is just like focus on Korean shit. So that's just been my biggest update. That like, hey guys, I'm in Korea, focusing my Korean shit, Korean comedy, Korean content, and you guys might be questioning, so like, okay, so like, when are you coming back? Or like, what is the city in the artists and the city? Well, like, for artists and the city, it shall say New York for a while because I still have a really, really good banger episodes that I did not release that were shoot in New York with New York-based artists. But I do plan to be here until November. The at least until November I'll be here. Mainly because it's so hard to explain. I think it's right to be here. Like last year when I was like forcefully moved back, I have always been thinking about New York. I'm like, oh my god, like, I hate living with my parents. I hate this. I want to go back in New York and like be in my own house and like going around naked. I wanted to be that. But like right now, I'm actually okay. Like I have this like thriving comedy career. Laughs. It's funny. And I am using this opportunity to make better relationships with my family. And I don't feel too alienated from Korean society as I used to be. So I think it's about time to just like stay for a bit. I'm happy with this decision and I do not miss New York, period. Oh my god, I cannot believe I say this, but I do not miss New York. But I do know that at some point I will miss it, I think it's just like there should be some, intricate balance. As in, New York is an amazing city to grow, to meet a bunch of new people, and to explore new things. But it's just overwhelming and overstimulating. But in Korea, I'm focusing on what I know. And the growth feels different. It's like the things that I learned in New York, I'm just like implementing it and like applying it in different city or different setting, and I enjoy it a lot. And because I've been living abroad here and there, I always felt like so foreign, but I don't feel too foreign because the time that I was gone was only for a couple months. So it was a lot easier to pick up on the life that where I left off. So my friends in New York, I hope you don't miss me too much. And I guess I gotta keep going. You know what the show was called with the comedy festival? It's called I Am a Comic. The show's title was I Am a Comic. It's just like very much like self-manifesting. They're like, hey, I know that I'm like not that funny, but I'm a comic, and I'm a comic. Like, listen to me, I'm a comic. That's how I felt. But I think this time around in Korea, it will be a time for me to really transform as a comic and also as a club owner. So I'm out here doing big things, and I kind of feel it. It just feels like it's gonna be a bigger thing than I expect it to be. So be happy, Minji. Yes, I'm talking to myself. Minji, be happy. Like, be happy with your success and embrace your success. You're doing awesome. So, all right. I don't know how this episode went because it was my very first solo episode. But hey, hope you enjoyed it. Like, it's gonna be every time whenever I try something new or something outside of my comfort zone, I always feels like I've done something wrong. But when I look back, it's just, there was nothing wrong. It's just, things just happen as it should happen, you know? Okay, so I think it's about time to end the pod, but I'm gonna just like ask the question that I ask my guests all the time. Minji, why should people know you? Why should people know about me? I think people should know me because I am so real. I do want to put out real shit, like my real stories and real struggles. Okay. I'm gonna stop talking and go to sleep. It's like 3 a.m. in Korea. And hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And I will be back with another interview episode back in New York City. But hey, I will be preparing some really good interviews with Korean artists. So hit me up if you have any requests or if you want to be a part of it. Thank you, listeners. Bye.